The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele. It's now time for the House of Light presents The Wisdom Cafe, each and every week at this time on 99.1 FM WQEE. Here's this week's special.
Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How about you?
You know, I am doing fantastic. It's been a wild ride. I'll leave it at that.
I believe it. Believe me. Believe me, I know. Believe me.
Yeah. I think anybody, if you stopped them on the street and asked them, "How you doing?" I think they'd look at you and go, "You know, I really don't know." I'm okay, but boy, is a lot happening.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I know.
Yeah. It's really, really, really crazy stuff going on, people. We're gonna have to get our gear on, right?
That's right.
I mean, what is it that you look for to help you? Is it mud boots? It's an umbrella. No, is it lotion? Like cover your skin in something. There's things we use to protect ourselves, but this is something different.
Right.
This is like coming from the inside. This is really changing our souls.
Right.
I think, right?
I agree 110%.
Yeah. So, you know, today is it March 8th?
That's it.
Already?
Already, yes.
March 8th.
Yep.
And Easter comes early this year, right?
Afraid so.
My House of Light. And I love that you're here to kind of like talk with me today, Ryan, because we consider you a part of the House of Light too.
Oh, thank you.
Because that's what this is. This reaching out to the community.
Right.
In many different ways.
Right.
Are all aspects of helping one another. And this right here, what you do, and especially, you know, allowing space for the House of Light to be able to be here. You are a part of the House of Light.
Well,
and we
I appreciate
you.
Well,
very,
I appreciate
very
you
much.
guys too. I mean, that's what community radio is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about the community and everybody's thoughts and opinions and different views and different worldly views and different things like that. That's what local radio is about. And then, you know, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get this on a national level. I'm going to tell you that. Too many people will, you know, no. This is not going to. I want it to be all one way or another way, and it, you know, you're not going to get that. And I think that's the difference in what we're trying to do here and what everybody else is doing, because it's great to have different perspectives in life.
Yes. And I know that, or I have belief that one day this will be national.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I do. This will be the norm.
Well, I hope
for
so.
us.
Yes.
Yeah. The focusing on the trauma.
Yes.
Because I don't want to, people call it darkness, people call it, you know, negativity, whatever. But yeah, people, when bad things are happening in the world,
Right.
people become intensely focused upon that.
That's true.
And they just keep watching, you know, that it's like when you're watching a football game and the football player has an accident.
Yes.
And
one of those,
they
yes.
just keep replaying that clip.
Yep.
And people are drawn to it and want to see it over and over again.
It's like a car accident.
Right.
People, I don't know. I'm one of these people. I don't want to see somebody injured, whether they're, you know, my worst enemy or not.
Right.
I don't want to ride by an accident and like, hey, what's going on? You know.
But hey, rubbernecking is a thing.
I know people like doing that. I'm like, but yeah.
Yeah, I think, And I don't think they've realized what they're actually doing.
Right.
Because where you focus is where the energy goes. So the more you focus on the negativity in the world, the more negativity there will be in the world. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense.
That's who we are. We are such magnetic, energetic beings that where we focus our energy, where we're looking, where we're being drawn to, is what comes to us. We call it in. We create our reality.
True. Well, it is true. We do.
It is very true.
We bring our negativity. If we wake up in the morning, first thing negative. The world. I don't like this. I don't like that. I'm complaining about this. Complaining about that. Then your whole day is
nothing but
shot.
More of that coming in.
Yeah, you're
giving
shot.
you more and more to complain about.
Yeah.
Because that's where your energy is lying.
You stomp your toe, and you're like, that ruins the whole day. It's like, but
Well, no, actually, is they stump their toe and they go, yeah, right. I that would happen to me because that's the kind of day I'm having.
Yeah, exactly.
They expect it almost. It's like, and that's what happens.
Yeah. But if you wake up positive, you wake up, with the positive, negativity, no matter a positive aspect, whether it's you wake up praying or whatever you do first thing in the morning, you wake up positive, you get that good cup of coffee, and you're positive everybody or whatever you like to drink when you wake up, and your whole day's there. And then when you stomp your toe, you're like, oh, that hurts. But then you're not blaming that's my day. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, you're like, wow, that hurt.
Exactly.
And then later you can laugh about it and say, guess what I did? Yeah.
And if that's the worst thing to happen to you that day is stomp your toe, then it's like, well, there you go.
Yeah. And there's another aspect to that.
Right.
If within that stumping of the toe and the pain, if afterwards you can find the beauty in it, the blessing, the lesson.
Right.
That's where the beauty is. That's where alchemy lies.
Right.
In the transformation of that trauma or whatever it is in that moment.
Right.
And being able to see it as goodness, as light.
Exactly.
So it's like you stump your toe and all of a sudden you can't walk as fast.
No.
And then all of a sudden there's like, a cardinal sitting on the limb, and you're like, oh wow, that cardinal's so pretty.
Yeah.
And you see beauty around you because you slowed down, because you stumped your toe.
But if you did it the other way, you wouldn't sling that cardinal. Mm-hmm. You'd be sitting there concentrating on your hurt foot.
And your pain.
This is I expected this to happen, fussing.
I'm having such a bad day.
Yeah, I'm having such a bad day. And it's that door's fault for me running into it. Like, no, that door is sitting there. How is it that door's fault or that wall's fault?
Yeah.
You walked into the wall.
Do you know, I've been listening to this gentleman's YouTubes, and I'm really enjoying him. His name is Robert Edward Grant.
Okay.
Have you heard of him?
I've heard of the name, yes.
Robert Edward Grant. And I just listened to one the other day where he talked about this Chinese proverb, I think is what he called it.
Okay.
But it was the most beautiful thing ever. I understood it.
There you go.
When you are asleep, we'll call it, you blame everything and everybody, right?
Wow.
Which is what you just said.
Yes.
You know, blame the door, blame the rock for being there, for
Shouldn't
you
have
to
been in the
stub
way.
your toe, you know, whatever it is. Blame that car that pulled out in front of you for making you late, you know?
Yeah, I would have been late for work if you hadn't got in front of me.
There is blame.
Yeah.
And when you can learn, and then you go into blaming yourself.
Right.
You go inwards and you say, well, I create my reality, so I must put that rock there so I could stub it.
Yeah.
And you begin to blame yourself. You're halfway there. Halfway there. When you can blame no thing,
right,
nothing, no one, then you're there. You understand this life.
Right.
because then there is no blame or shame or
Right.
anything like that. Life just is, and it becomes a joy
Yeah.
to live like that.
And sometimes I believe that car pulling out in front of you, slowing you down, or you stomping your toe or something, it's keeping you safe. Because what if that car hadn't slowed you down? You could have been in an accident down the road.
That's right.
You know, there's a lot of times I think that people get really mad and they get down the road and go, man, that could have been me in that. And I'm here, and I got mad because the guy in front of me was driving 20 miles less than he should.
Yeah.
Thank you, guy driving in front of me is what you need to say. But people don't think like that. They don't think, you know, and I think like when you stomp your toe, that rock could have been there to keep you from walking out into the street or something. You know, there's a million reasons why something happens.
Yeah.
And like, dadgummit, I'm late for work, but, you know, at least you got to work. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. So when you can blame no thing or nothing and no one. And you know what? He tied it back to the Bible, which was quite fascinating.
Well, I love
Adam and
theologists.
Eve in the garden.
Yes.
It's the original wound.
Right.
Because do you recall what happened? God called out to Adam. Adam, where are you? And he came and said, I was hiding, Lord. Why were you hiding? Because I was naked and ashamed.
Right.
Who told you you were naked and ashamed? Have you eaten from the tree of knowledge?
Right.
I did, but it wasn't my fault. The woman that you made for me.
That's right, you women, it's your fault.
To me, she made me eat that apple.
It's all her fault. She influenced me.
So then God goes to Eve.
Right.
Why did you give man the apple? Why did you eat the apple?
Right.
The serpent beguiled me.
Right.
So, since the beginning of time,
Blame.
Everybody believes we came from Adam and Eve because the flood killed it, blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. The Bible is full of such beautiful metaphors for us.
Yes, it is.
If we learn to understand what it truly means.
Yeah, it's a teaching. Is what
teaching.
It is.
Oh, yes.
That's
It's
what
a
it is.
beautiful teaching tool. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, original sin, which drove us out of the Garden of Eden, which is a joyful life, right? Full of abundance. And, you know, in Eden, everything was supplied for them.
Right.
There was just beauty all around. And they got kicked out.
Right. And the moral of that story is blame. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if the man had done his leadership part, because if Adam had not partaken, we don't know what had happened because we know that he was told. So I guess men have been blaming women from the day one, since the beginning of time. Yeah. Sorry, ladies. I'm sorry.
Women said, well, it was that serpent, which then was named Satan. Right. But there really isn't a Satan. And if you really, truly look deep into, like, that type of metaphors, the serpent is the Kundalini rising. So it really is just us coming into knowing who we really are.
Right.
Us waking up to our divinity.
Cool.
And it's quite fascinating when you begin begin to study and go deeper a little more and go within. Yeah. What does it mean to me? What what do I see in all of this? If Adam had said, well, you know what, God? Or when he said, I'm naked and ashamed. And God said, how did you know that? Because I ate of the tree. Well, who gave you the fruit? If he had said, well, Eve gave it to me, but I ate it.
Right.
Well, take responsibility for yourself.
Exactly. If he would have said, I did it. Yes. Exactly.
She gave it to me, but I ate it. I ate it. And that is what we all do in life.
But us men are never going to admit that we've done anything